Hi guys, let's talk about the beginning of May. All right, this is the way these videos are going to go. I'm front loading all of the individual signs with the astrology. I'm time stamping. I'm going to time stamp for the astrology. The astrology and the aspects are going to be the same for all the signs. So if you're watching for your sun or your rising, your moon, your Venus, whatever it is now, and you want to check one of your other signs, just go into the description box and you could just click forward to ahead to the tarot portion, because there are going to be 3 sections, okay, for each of the signs. So there's going to be astrology, and then there's going to be career, and then there's going to be a relationship read. All right, so each of those sections are going to be timestamped. Well, the astrology won't be because I'm starting with that, but then I'm going to timestamp for the career and the relationship just for your ease, and so you don't have to sit through the whole video and all the astrology each time and go searching for all of that stuff, okay? So I hope that helps you guys out. But I always like to start with the astrology, guys. You know, my heart is with tarot, but it's also with astrology, right? So I can't separate the two. So I want to just talk about, we're just going to be dealing with the first week of May right now, okay? And so we had some big aspects coming on, and hallelujah, May is going to be so much better than flipping April. It really is. We have a very, very positive full moon happening on the 7th, so I just wanted to talk about that. Now, on the 3rd, on May 3rd, that's the only little bit of a, I'm just going to call it a little bit of a wonky energy. It's Venus square Neptune. Venus is great. Venus, obviously, we talked a lot about Venus yesterday in my Venus video. I'm going to link that above and in the description box, by the way, having to do with Venus retrograde. But Venus is going to be square Neptune. And remember, Neptune is all about illusory and not feeling firmly footed. So we have Venus in there, which is about love and having to do with money and having to do with our self-esteem. So it's like feeling foggy about those things. It's not going to be a very long energy that we're going to have to deal with, and everything else is really positive, but let's just give it a little, a little attention, just so that if you guys are feeling this way, you know that that's what it is, and you're not like losing your mind or spiraling down into a deeper state of depression or whatever you might be feeling right now, which, you know, guys, a lot of people are dealing with those, anxiety, depression. You know, it's a weird world we live in right now, right? All right, so Venus square Neptune on May 3rd. So Venus is, again, it's about love, money, self-esteem in general, but especially love and money. And Neptune is that ruler of the 12th house. It's Pisces house. It's the house of self-undoing. And that could easily make us, on the one hand, feel very victimized, right? And on the other hand, very unclear, since Neptune really is this ungrounded energy, and it really is trying to look at life through like a dirty window or a fog, kind of, right? So there's just not going to be a lot of clarity in the beginning of May, having to do with love and having to do with career. So just know that, okay? Because what ends up happening is, and the reason I say fog, because you know when you look through a fog or a dirty window, you kind of see what's there, but not really. And then what do we do as human beings? We end up filling in what we don't understand, and we fill in information to satisfy ourselves, but we can often be wrong in this energy. So just be mindful of that. So Venus square Neptune transit can lead to feelings of insecurity about yourself, even how you look, guys, like how you look, you know, because Venus is about beauty. It's about the external. So it's possible that you might feel that others are looking at you or thinking about you in a strange way, but please know that this isn't real. And any impressions like this are just going to be very distorted and won't be matching reality. So this wonky, I'm just going to call it poor self-image, can easily lead to relationship difficulties, right? Where you maybe think your partner is looking at you or thinking about you or seeing you in a certain light, and you're not feeling comfortable with it. And this could be a situation where you might be projecting some insecurities onto your relationship. And in the same way, you could also experience disappointments in your love life by forming a distorted image of someone else. And we've been kind of talking about that in the past couple of videos, where we end up projecting onto somebody what we really want them to be, and rather than maybe who they are or who they're even capable of being, and then that can end up leading to frustration. So if you're going through that, you know, just be mindful. It's just Venus square Neptune. And there's also a tendency to over-idealize romantic interest at this time, right? Really ignoring the obvious flaws that are kind of in plain sight because we have rose-colored glasses on. And, you know, I mean, we talked a lot with the Venus retrograde. as soon as the shadow starts, Venus is going to be like, here, put these rose-colored glasses on. So we just have to be a little careful of that. But regardless, situations leave you susceptible, having to do with love, to major disappointments, where you're either disappointed or maybe you feel like you're being taken advantage of, or you're being treated like a doormat in some way. But this is the thing. If you're in a healthy relationship, this is really, really short-lived, because assuming that if you're in a relatively normal, whatever the hell that means, but relationship where there's mutual respect, you're going to be able to talk about how you feel. So there's going to be that open communication. So you might be feeling it for a minute, but it's nothing that communication's not going to be able to solve. Now, if you're not in a really trusting relationship, this could be a little more problematic, and matters of trust can easily become an issue. And guys, I do want to say, and this is no judgment at all, but if you're thinking about starting an affair at this time, depending on where you live, depending on the quarantine situation, and I'm even talking about like online kind of affairs, not smart, since it's going to be really difficult to hide and you're going to get busted. So, because remember, Venus goes shadow and goes retrograde. It doesn't go retrograde till the middle of the month, but it's going to be going shadow to shadow the middle of the month. And that's where the lights are just going to start to become brighter and brighter and brighter, having to do with anything that's like shady, okay? So if you're not in a relationship or a solid relationship, you can feel this incredible need for honest tenderness, just an affection, right? So your desire for this is going to end up lifting these energetic blocks that you may be having, that you don't even realize, because you don't even realize when we put these energetic blocks up, right? These energetic do not disturb, right? Because my heart's still broken, or do not disturb because I'm choosing to still have feelings for somebody else. Those are going to kind of be lifted, but you have to stay conscious of this very confusing Neptunian influence. I'm not saying not to get involved with anybody, just be careful. Again, even like I mentioned, having to do with Venus retrograde, that reality is actually what it is, and that you're not filling in or seeing things that aren't there. Because it would be great if you can wait until after this transit before committing yourself in a new way, or being too trusted to somebody new. And that goes for the newness element, not obviously if you're in a relationship again. Poor self-esteem and lack of self-discipline in this energy big time. So it can be really difficult to stay on that diet, to maybe not drink so much, any kind of partying, anything like that. Shopping therapy, getting online, right, and doing some shopping therapy, anything that makes you feel good. You just more, it's going to be harder for you to control this. You're definitely going to be more susceptible to the depressive influences of alcohol during this energy, and more susceptible to poisoning in general, guys. I mean, I'm not a fear monger. I don't like that. Also, I just want to take this opportunity to say, stay away from fear-mongering sites. These people who are just like all about doom and gloom and everything. Guys, life is cyclical. We are human beings. We are strong. We're resilient. We're going to get past all of this stuff. And if you hyper-focus on any of the negative aspects having to do with readings, or any of the, the negative news that you hear, like attracts like, right? So you don't want to really swim in negativity. You just don't want to do that. All right. But that being said, I do have to remind us, right, that Venus being in square with Neptune does rule disease, right? It's a Pisces energy, and viruses, right? Anything that kind of like hides sort of underneath the surface. So you just want to be a little careful now, because addiction is definitely more likely. Like if you were to dabble in drugs, it's much easier in this energy to become addicted. If you weren't a big drinker beforehand, but you're starting to drink more, that maybe you're out of work or working differently, it's the energy is like can really suck you down that rabbit hole. So just be careful of anything like that, any kind of potential overdoing. Let's just leave it there. Okay, so now let's go on to a couple of things that are way more, if you want to say, positive and less challenging. Not that one's going to be that challenging, because it's not going to be that long-lived, but that's the most challenging of the week. So we're going to have Sun conjunct Mercury on May 4th. So this is going to put a focus on your thinking and communications. You're going to be very, very busy mentally. We're all going to be very busy mentally. All right. Your mind will be on, what idea is going to favor you the most? What path is going to bring you where you really want to go? Really kind of feeling very comfortable making decisions in this energy, and as far as like, particularly having to do with the pragmatics of your life, right? So I just feel like, clearing out paperwork and bills. You're going to be receiving letters and sending emails, and a lot of us are going to start feeling a little more ready to socially distance and do it responsible, but to get out around town, even if it's just for like short little trips, we're going to start to feel ready to do that. Because Mercury rules communication, thinking patterns, rationality, reasoning, right? Remember, Mercury rules Gemini, but also rules Virgo. And Virgo is like a very pragmatic sign. It's like, all right, what do we have to do? So you're really going to be in that space. Also, primary and secondary education, your neighborhood, siblings, cousins, short distance, transport, like I mentioned, news and information. These things are all ruled by Mercury, right? And so the sun is hanging in there with these ideas. So you're probably going to be talking a lot to some family, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, doing a lot of exchange having to do with education. Those of us who are in higher ed, who are teachers, we're getting ready for our end of the semester. Those, our students are getting ready for studying for finals, or doing those, in my case, those final essays and all of that. So lots of busyness there. You're going to be just very fast, lively, adaptable, very almost in an unemotional and curious way. You're just going to be like sucking in information. So I really like it. You're going to want to, just have conversations on topics that interest you, because hello, that's Mercury. It's the intellect, right? It's all of that. So this is a great time to make plans to start business deals, to bargain and sell. This is a great week to do a bit to engage in a business deal. It really, really is. Even though Mercury is going to be going retrograde in Gemini, which is ruled by Venus is going to, did I say Mercury? Venus is going to be going retrograde in Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury in the middle of the month. But you could start something here that you've already begun the process on, in particular. Especially if you've already, brand spanking new, maybe not so much. But if you've been thinking about it, really good energy to do that. Then on the 7th, we have Mercury sextiling Neptune. We like when the planets have sex. It's good for us. It's very benefic. So this is good for relaxation, creativity, communication, anything spiritual. So for those of you who are going through, Libras in particular, going to be going through this in this energy, like spirituality pursuits, thinking about things, looking at life in a different way. Great energy to be doing that. Your words can be very soothing and can actually become healing to others, to each other. There's just going to be this sense of calming about this. All of your senses become very acute, enabling you to pick up a lot of extra information through your intuition, right? Because Mercury communication and Neptune rules Pisces, that, the eldest water sign. It's about intuition full force. So you might even be receiving a lot of messages through your dreams, through very serendipitous circumstances, but through your higher consciousness. Really nice. Chance encounters, hearing from somebody you haven't heard from in a while. Great time to do anything creative. I mean, anything from writing, artwork, anything differently that you do. We could be creative with anything that we do. So it's just a very, how do I want to say, a time of epiphanies and beautiful rolling out of these seeds that you've been cultivating, and your subconscious are going to pop up to your conscious mind, and you're really going to want to really push things forward. So I really like that. You're going to feel so ready for socializing in this energy. Absolutely. And relationships are really going to benefit in this energy as well. Very compassionate, very spiritual. There's a spiritual and compassionate element about this transit, so I do like it. Now we have to talk about the last thing that I want to mention for the week. Scorpio full moon on Thursday the 7th is the first positive moon phase for 6 weeks. Yes. This has a very spiritual, a very healing, a very compassionate influence, because Mercury sextiling Neptune in there as well. It's just like, wow. You know, in Scorpio is that deep water sign ruled by Neptune, which is all about changes and transformation and allowing cycles to end to allow beautiful cycles to begin. Now, that doesn't mean the ending of things. It means the ending of a cycle. So it doesn't have to mean the ending of that relationship, or it doesn't have to mean totally the ending of that job. It's going to resonate with everyone a little differently. But generally, people are going to be more sympathetic and understanding in this energy, and it'll make you more sensitive and better able to understand any areas that you have conflicting emotions in, which isn't that awesome, right? Clarity is always a friend, right? But importantly, it's really going to help you to see a brighter future, you know, which is awesome. Things are just going to start to feel and look a little brighter, like you see the light at the end of the tunnel for, you know, the end of the virus, right? They're calling the new normal, whatever the heck you want to call it, is really going to start to make sense. And we're going to start to feel a little more comfortable about taking those chances and doing things responsibly as a people, you know, responsibly. You know, trusting that people are just not going to be irresponsible, you know. But what does this full moon mean? Sun opposite moon brings your home, your family, intimate relationships into sharper focus for the following 2 weeks of this moon phase. Opposing forces such as work versus home, you know, even if you're working from home, you know, which working from home, I find it kind of like weird to balance out, like, am I working? Am I not working? I'm like putting dinner on while I'm like working, and it's just like, it's strange. So you're going to be looking at that balance, not in a bad way, in a good way, in like a problem solving way. So I do like that. And what you need versus what you want, right? A lot of us are going to be in that phase, creating this inner tension and external pressures, or any area where there's a creation of internal versus external pressures is going to be looked at right now, and in a really positive way. Now, you just want to be careful. For a minute, this could lead to conflict and crisis that drain your energy, but it's only because you're doing some really good active thinking. So it's more of like a mental kind of drain, but it's not bad. It's good because it's towards something good. But if you're feeling extra tired, I always say that in full moon energies, you know, unless you have natal retrogrades in, you know, like a Cancer energy in the 4th house, you might feel really more energetic during a full moon. But generally speaking, most people feel kind of tired. You know, you just do. So let's talk about a couple of aspects going on here. We have the full moon opposite Mercury. This makes the understanding and communication, your feelings, a major theme in this phase. Inner conflicts between your thoughts and feelings might occur. You might feel kind of polarized in your thinking. That's completely natural now. It really, really is, because the moon is I feel, and Mercury is communication. So it's what you feel deep inside, and it's how you're communicating with the external world. But this is good, because this is really going to be helping you to get in touch with areas that there are imbalance. You know, misunderstandings and arguments can happen, but the harmonious aspect of Neptune reduces this. So even though that might be happening where there might be some conflict, Neptune comes in and just like, okay, kids, you know, I'm the dreamer. Let's just take a deep breath and just meditate. You know, I'm joking, but you know what I mean. It kind of soothes the influence a little bit, which I do like. This is a really good moon for spending time in reflection, talking to really good friends about how you feel, getting in touch with where you sense you're holding back in life, whether that has to do with your job or relationship, with your sense of self, anything. Now, this full moon trine Neptune heightens your emotions, imagination, creativity. This reduces anxiety and makes misunderstandings less likely. You know, and if disagreements do occur, this harmonious and compassionate and very spiritual influence is going to incite forgiveness. It's going to incite cooler heads prevailing. It's just going to diffuse things really quickly, and which is great because we haven't had an influence like this in a while, to be honest. You may dream up or fantasize about an ideal partner, but are just as likely to meet somebody special now. So whether it's in your fantasy mind or in real life, relationships formed during this new moon phase have a very soulmate feel to them. Very soulmate feel. So friends may come to you for advice during this energy as well, a shoulder to cry on. You know, maybe you're dealing with some friends who are, you know, struggling right now, either with the virus or with money. You know, and again, I say that as a New Yorker because a lot of us know people who have the virus now because we're just so slammed with it. But I know a lot of you guys are super fortunate in places where it's been better contained. But regardless, your caring, sympathetic side is very enhanced during this new moon energy. A lot of empathy, a lot of caring, and it's going to come very naturally, so really nice. And then finally, we have Mercury sextiling Neptune. It's virtually exact. So this is occurring just 3 minutes before the full moon, so very close there. So this positive aspect far outweighs the challenging influence of the full moon opposite Mercury. Any of those little snafus that I said about communication, this outweighs it. So yeah, just generally people are going to be good during this energy. Very sympathetic, understanding. You're going to be very sensitive, especially those of you who, I don't know, as we say, are awake, are in touch, are spiritually aware. You're going to feel very sensitive to the vibrational energies going on now, to other people in your environment. Man, especially those water signs, right? Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, you're going to be vibing the energy a lot around you. Not in a bad way, in a good way. You're going to be able to sort of, and it's going to be helpful to the people in your life because you're going to be able to tap into your intuition in a way where you're just going to be able to sense if somebody needs something. Right? Which is really beautiful. So I do like this. And, you know, generally, we're all going to be feeling a more idealistic view of the world. Now, that has a lot to do with, okay, I mean, Mercury sextiling Neptune, but I have to say that also, you know, Venus is going to be retrograde. So there's going to be some, you know, sweet-colored rose juice thrown on everything, you know, right now, which is nice. You know, you could trust your feelings right now, guys. Seriously, like, we're all going to be feeling very sensitive. And trust your feelings, right? Because this aspect gives Mercury sextile Neptune gives very accurate intuition and perception skills, which I really like. A lot of you guys are going to be tapping into your psychic abilities where you're going to sense something before it happens. You're going to sense somebody reaching out to you before they do. You're going to be sensing these things. Lots of dreams here, lots of dreams with messages. So if you're remembering your dreams, really sit down with yourself quietly and think through. If you want, write it out, but figure out what message is trying to be sent to you, given to you in that moment. Yeah. I mean, I really like it. Very healing energy, very healing, great for romance, great for intimacy, great for feeling connected. And if nobody's in your life, you could be feeling super tight with your kids, really close to your friends, just very up in your feels in a positive way about everything. And again, last little bit, this is a great full moon. For those of you who are creatively inclined, artistically inclined, writers, anything, great pursuits for energy to pursue things like literature, drama, poetry, singing. In the same way, relaxation, yoga, meditation. Great. This is a great time, guys. For those of you who never believed in meditation, were never on board with it, didn't get it, couldn't relax well enough to stay in place to do it. I get it. We've all been there at one point, right? Before we learn the process. So this is a great energy to do it. And there are so many great videos that can help you through that. So why not, right? If you have the time, why not? All right, guys, that is the astrology section. So now I'm going to go pull signs. Pull cards for each of your signs, okay? See you guys on the other side. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, Pisces, welcome. Let's get right into your career read. Whatever Pisces needs to know about what's going on in their career for the beginning of May 1st through the 7th, 2020. Let's get right into this. Remember, everything's going to be time-stamped, so we'll do the love read after this. We'll time-stamp that as well. get into this 4 coins. Okay, holding on to your money, feeling a little self-protected, feeling protective of your money, feeling concerned about moving forward in something, wondering if it's going to bring you exactly what it is that you need. Coming into this energy, we had the 7 of coins. You know, this is great. 7 of coins is a new cycle. It's 4 of the world and 3 of the Trinity, and this is the really putting in the hard work, finally getting some recognition, really climbing the ladder. Now, that's all. This is not to say that everyone was in that space of climbing the ladder. This is to say that you were in the space of working really hard and seeing the fruits of your labor. So you could be working for 20 years, but where you're feeling like you're finally like, all right, you know, this is good. I'm getting where I want to go. I'm saving the money that I want to save. I'm getting my act together to purchase that big thing that I wanted to purchase, go on the vacation, retire, buy the home, right? I mean, understanding that all the Pisces watching this are going to be different ages and at different stations in their life, right? In your life. So the important thing to understand here, though, is that it's Saturn and Taurus. And Saturn is all about putting in that hard work. And Taurus is a grounded pentacle energy. It's an earth energy. So you were in a space where you were working really hard and you were establishing yourself. You were, you know, reaching your goal, getting there. Beautiful. To the point where it was actually allowing you to evolve onto that next phase of your life, you know, whatever that would be for you, that next level. But right now, currently, this 4 of coins that's crossed by the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands is a very strong desire, strong fire in your belly. Wands are fire. Wands are will, fire, motivation, forward movement. Brand new fire in your belly to move forward, to attack a new cycle. At the same time, we have the 4 of coins here, which is a Sun and Capricorn energy. So when we have the Sun is all about illumination, right? It's like throwing those lights on. And Capricorn, again, is ruled by Saturn here. So we have this idea of work. You know, Capricorn is work. So we have this idea of these epiphanies hitting you that you want to do in your career. Now, for some of you, this could be you making the decision to retire. For others of you, this could be making the decision to try to maybe sell your home. You know, anything, it could have to do with career, but tangentially having to do with money, you know, as well, because the two are, you know, they're very closely connected. But regardless of what it is, it's you really trying to, on the one hand, save your money, protect your money, and on the other hand, try to come up with these ideas on how it is that you're going to be able to move forward in a way. And you have this strong will, which is, you know, very positive for you. This indicates to me that even if you're not in the best mindset, at least on a subconscious level, you do still have fire in your belly to start something new or to move yourself into that next space. So we have the 2 of Cups crowning. I really like this because it's a Venus and Cancer energy. Venus is, you know, all about, it's money, it's love, of course, but it's also money. It has to do with self-esteem. Cancer is that metaphorical home space. You know, it's that 4th house energy. It's thinking about your home and all that you need in that home. So what I like about this is the connection between the money and realization of what you need at home. And the 2 of Cups is, it's a positive energy of moving forward in some sort of connection that's going to allow you to better have what you need for whatever home space you have. And I say that metaphorically because your home may have enough finances in it, right? I mean, you might be living with a partner who's still very gainfully employed, whatever it is, but for you, right? For you to feel like you have enough. So I just wanted to decipher that. Then in the foundation, we have the Page of Wands in reverse, and Wands reverse indicates delay, indicates, so this is telling me, and pages in new cycles, this is telling me there's going to be delay in a new cycle for you moving forward. There's going to be some sort of holding back, some sort of delay. Now, this could also mean that you have a lack of passion to move forward in whatever it is that you've been in. Because Wands in reverse can also mean this lack of passion, this lack of motivation. But regardless, it's a lack of movement going forward, right, in this cycle. And I feel like, actually, because the pages are the youngins of the court, and they typically indicate a new cycle, whereas the ace is like a whole brand new trajectory of your path. So I feel very strongly, Pisces, that you guys are very in the mind of trying to figure out a whole new path for yourself, because you don't see a new cycle a fresh cycle, this next cycle happening in whatever it is that you're doing now. Representing you right now is the sun. I love this. This is great. I mean, this and the sun are, this and the world are the two most positive cards in the deck. The sun is about moving forward on a path that speaks to you more in a way that's going to end up bringing healing in any area of your life that you need it. So because this is career, this is telling me that whatever decision you're going to be making now, you can trust it. And that has a lot to do with the energies. If you listen to the beginning of the video, to the astrology, this really is a time to trust your instincts, trust how intuitive you are. And I've been saying, especially the water signs, you know, you guys, Cancer and Scorpio, trust what that voice is telling you, you know. External to you, we have the Two of Wands. I love it. This is great. This is a new path. Mars and Aries. Nice. You know, Mars and Aries. I mean, Mars rules Aries. So this is like, come on, Pisces, let's go. Let's go this way kind of thing. This is an external energy to you. So it's like this external path, this path that's right outside of where you are right now is just waiting for you. Now, for some of you, this could be information coming in to pull you on that new path. For others of you, this can be you coming across information, maybe via the internet or through a conversation with a friend or through some sort of connection at work. But whatever it is, it's this path that's going to be happening because people are going to be like very front and center, recognizing your talents, your gifts, your abilities, what you bring to the table. This is being realized external to you, about you though. And because of that, this new path is going to be offered, really positive. Now, your fear is the King of Wands. You think, well, you're afraid of the dragon of the feet here, right? You know, and I totally understand that. You're afraid of the dragon of the feet. You're afraid of this not actually coming to fruition, right? Because this is a Cancer and Leo energy, and Leo is a fire sign, so it's about, come on, let's go, you know, and Cancer is about safety. So on the one hand, you are afraid of there being a lot of delay and it not happening, and on the same token, you're afraid for your safety. And what does that mean regarding career? Obviously, it has to do with you feeling safe in your finances, you know. You feeling like you truly have what you need in your finances. Understandable. Nine of Wands as the outcome here. So and this is reversed. So the Nine of Wands reversed, this is Moon in Sagittarius. So this is telling me that you're really feeling that you're not going to be moving forward on this path that you've been involved in. Just understand something. This doesn't have to do with the new path. This has to do with what you've been doing. There's history to this energy. The Nine of Wands, in a lot of the decks, you see this guy who looks like a hot mess. He's got like a bandage on his head with blood coming out, like he just came back from the battles of war, but he still has fire in his belly to keep fighting, right? So that's the energy of this card, but it's reversed. So this tells me that whatever you've been in, you've been through a lot, and you know, the good, bad, and the ugly, right? Whatever it is. But whatever it is, you don't have either the gumption or the option to continue on in that particular career that you've been involved in. Yeah, because I mean, we have the Ace of Swords in your near future. Swords are truth. Swords are communication. So this tells me, and guys, this could mean that no communication is coming in, or it could mean that the communication coming in is only like halfway. You know what I mean? It's kind of like lying through omission, only telling half the story. You being very intuitive in that you're not being given all of the information. You just know this having to do with everything right now. You're seeing through everything. And the reason I'm saying this, I'm getting it for both ends. I'm getting that whatever it is that you're leaving, you feel like you don't know the full story. You don't have all the information. And whatever option you're going into, you really don't know all of the information. You don't know the full truth of the whole thing, right? But whatever it is, you're in this nexus of this ace energy, and ace is this new beginning. So you're in this new beginning, and you're looking at where you've been, and you're looking at where you're going, and you're saying, okay, I don't know all of the information. I'm just not sure. And that's the sword energy. That's the sword energy. But you know, here the advice is do it scared. Do it scared, do it anyway. Let's see if we can get a couple more cards about this. Yeah, because I don't see you staying at all. That Nine of Wands energy, you're like, bye. But then we have here the Ace of Wands, new fire in your belly. I like the Two of Cups. I feel like you're going to just be really either finding a job that you really, really connect with, or finding a new way of life that you really connect with. In which case, the Two of Cups, because it's the card of emotion, could be, you just sort of resolving things within yourself that you're making this decision for your life moving forward, and you're going to be very happy with it. The High Priestess is a moon energy, and the moon energy in reverse indicates you really getting in touch with what it is that you're feeling very deep down inside. You're not searching for the answers so much as getting very real and very practical, right? Because the moon rules that which we feel and do and say to ourselves in private and feel in private, and in the reverse, it's kind of like falling out of the moon, right? So, something to keep in mind. So these things are being brought into your consciousness for you to look at, Pisces. It's like the reality of your situation, the reality of your life. And this is not an easy decision. Three of Swords, that's a Saturn and Libra energy. Libra is, the glyph of Libra is about the scales. So I feel like you feel like something about this is not fair. Whether it's that you've put in all of these years at work, or you've been working so hard, and there's this, even if no one is to blame for the situation that's going on, right? It could just be because of COVID and all of that. There's this feeling of pain, right? Because you put in all of this hard work. Libra is ruled by Venus. Venus is one of the money planets, right? And then, to have Saturn in there, Saturn's about restriction. Saturn's about karma. Saturn's about the past. So I feel like, this is something from the past that's been kind of, something that you're kind of unknotting about the past situation here, having to do with this career, and you're really trying to work through it. But then we have the Seven of Cups energy, which indicates confusion, but at the same time, this transformation, because this is a Venus and Scorpio energy. And whenever we have the Seven of Cups, so we say, what's in Five of the Cups, you don't know what's in Two. And you don't know what's in Two because this is a card of transformation. And it's Venus and Scorpio. So let's look at Venus here as connected to money, right? Because again, it's connected to money, love, and self-esteem. So Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. So there's definitely transformation here. And the reason why you might feel a little confused or a little uncomfortable right now is because you don't know what's on the other side of this transformation. You don't know what's on the other side of this change. And that's okay. That's okay. It really is. It's okay. Your fear really here is the just not knowing. Five of Wands energy being a battle of the wills, and the battle of the wills could be happening within you or with someone else, right? This is a Saturn and Leo energy. Again, Saturn, right? This is you really trying to reason out things that have happened, right? Things that have happened. And we have Leo in there. We're dealing with ego. Okay. And then we have the Seven of Swords reverse. So the Seven of Swords is the card of, it's the trickery card. It's a card of thievery rather, not trickery. And I always call this, I always call this the mask card, right? Because it's a moon in Aquarius. Moon is, I feel, Aquarius is differently than what is being presented, right? So somebody's mask falling off, or you becoming incredibly clear on what the dealio is with this career, with whatever it is that you need to understand, either about the job, about your potential to stay in it, which is, I don't feel like you're going to be staying in it, right? But we have a lot of cards indicating you're not going to be doing that. Or this could even be you realizing somebody that you've been working with or for is not who they actually initially presented themselves to be. It's like in the time of trouble here, everybody's true mask falls off, everybody's true colors come out, right? Things are revealed to you, and this is actually very beneficial for you. Yeah, you're realizing the injustices, right? Justice reverse, again, back to that Libra, back to the scales. And you realizing front and center that something is not being handled fairly. Something was not being handled fairly, right? It was not going to be your wish fulfillment. It wasn't going to bring you where you want to go. And now it's time to be large and in charge. Tap into that Emperor energy. Love it. This is an Aries energy. This is Mars. This is exactly what I said before. Doing it anyway. Doing it scared, doing it anyway. Getting on that new path, taking charge of your life, and just having, there's this fearlessness about the Aries energy, right? Which is the Emperor. Really nice. So I feel like you're going to come to this resolve having to do whatever you've been in, and right, going back, we're going to be getting some new offers coming in. You're really going to be very appreciated by somebody external to you with this Two of Wands energy. I really like it. It's getting real about the reality of what's going on. And I really like that for you, Pisces. You know, you guys are ruled by Neptune. You guys are ruled by Neptune. Obviously, it depends on what else you have in your chart, for goodness sake, right? I mean, if you have if you're a Cap rising or a Taurus rising, it'll be easy. It will have been easier for you to see the reality of the situation, you know, from the get-go. But generally speaking, as an archetype, being ruled by Neptune, it's easy to just have a hard time seeing clarity in things sometimes, you know, for the reality of what it is. All right, so let's go on to relationships, Pisces. For those of you involved in relationships, or if you have somebody in your energy field, you know what that means. And guys, a lot of people have been asking me about the single reads. I do the single reads once a month for each of the signs. I do a love only and no astrology in it, just straight up tarot, love for singles and love for those in a relationship. And I should be putting those out next week, okay? But I never know what comes out in these general weekly things, you know. Sometimes it is for couples, singles, sometimes it's not. So I'm going to do a past, present, future, and then some clarifiers. Okay, so in the past we have the Five of Pentacles reversed, the Magician, and the Knight of Cups reversed. Somebody was not who they said they were. Somebody was talking out of both sides of their mouth, Pisces. I mean, I get that straight away. So this is in your recent past, and whatever that means to you. So we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So, you know, this really is a very mental card. You feeling unsupported, lacking in connection, mental, emotional, physical. Not feeling like your voice is heard, you know, really it is. Mercury and Taurus energy. Mercury's communication. So in reverse, it's like you having a hard time feeling understood. You feel like your voice is not being heard clearly. Taurus being ruled by Venus. Has to do with self-esteem, has to do with love, has to do with money too, but this is a love reading. So this was not making you feel good. You were feeling like you were in a space of not feeling very supported, you know, very connected. And I want to come to the center card last, and we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. So this is an Aquarius and Pisces, and you guys are Aquarius and Pisces energy. And, you know, Aquarius is all about doing something different. Pisces, when it comes to cup energy, when it comes to you guys with the cup energy, it's always about what it is that you really wish for, what you really hope for. You know, that idea that you have in your mind that you feel it's possible, that you really know you need in relationship, right? But it's in there with Aquarius, which is all about, it's ruled by Uranus, about doing something differently, right? In order to reach that beautiful space. So in the upright, the Knight is coming in and saying, all right, let's do things differently, and let's just kind of go for the dream of this relationship together, and whatever that means, right? Let's just work at it, and let's just do whatever we need to do differently. Let's just go for it, right? But in the reverse, this indicates to me somebody who's manipulative, somebody who's not showing up as the way they seem. This could indicate somebody who parties a lot, who's not entirely responsible. You can't really trust what it is that they're giving you. And then we have the Magician, and the Magician centering this, and the Magician is a Mercury energy. So the Magician is an alchemical card. It's about making something happen, creating something out of what's available. Now, with the Magician energy, it's very important, you know, listen, with all cards, it's important to not read them in isolation. You always want to look at what, those of you who are learning tarot, you always want to look at the cards that are surrounding it and allow that to inflect the interpretation. So that we have you feeling bad and unsupported here, and this person speaking out of both sides of their mouth, and quite possibly not being somebody who's going to, you know, walk the talk, so to speak. To have the Magician, this indicates manipulation to me. So you were dealing with somebody who is a manipulative energy. Now in the present, you're in the we have the moon energy for you, and which is you, right? In tarot, this is connected to you guys. So again, the moon is I feel, you guys are I feel, right? Well, you in Cancer, right? Because Cancer is in astrology is ruled by the moon, right? But in tarot, you guys are connected to the moon. So this is you being very, first of all, you're feeling very deeply right now, Pisces, and you're not communicating what it is that you're feeling so deeply, because this is what we do in private. Now, this doesn't mean that so many secrets are being held back. I mean, it just means you're going to be super, super deep in thought about what this relationship is, what it means to the overall trajectory of your life, and what you should be doing about it. You're going to be very, very deep in trying to figure that out. Now, there is a little caveat here that you want to be careful of. Because you guys are ruled by Neptune, it's very easy for you to be in the space of like lacking clarity when it comes to how you're viewing things deep within yourself. So you do just want to do a little bit of a mental check-in that what you're feeling is actually based in reality and not the result of any fears that you might be experiencing because of things that you've gone through from your past that you might be projecting onto yourself. I'm not even saying onto the relationship, where you might be, maybe somebody hurt you once upon a time, and because this partner is acting a certain way, you're kind of dragged back to that past pain and hurt, and you're projecting that onto yourself, saying, well, that's what they're doing to me again, right? Then we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, right? So this is telling me that you just don't feel supported. The Six of Pentacles in the upright is I got your back, you've got mine. It's a Moon and Taurus energy. It's feeling that Venusian energy. It's feeling that support, right? Again, the moon is I feel. And this in reverse is telling me that you don't feel supported right now in relationship. You don't feel supported. Now, I do want to say before I even go on, this could actually have to do with people who are single right now, where you were dealing with somebody who was someone who really lacked integrity, who spoke out of both sides of their mouth, who promised things and didn't have a lot of follow through, made you feel bad about yourself. And you could very easily be in a state of where you're single now, and you're doing a lot of thinking about this, right? But at the same time, you're feeling unsupported, you're feeling lonely, you're feeling the sense of lack of mental, emotional, and physical connection. And then we have the Judgment reverse. This is a Pluto energy about transformation. So remember, when it's transformation that ultimately ends up in forgiveness, right? So when we have Pluto ends something so that something else can be begun when it's in the upright. But in the reverse, this indicates that there's energy here that you can't trust. There's not going to be genuine forgiveness, and there's not going to be, a healthy beginning, a new beginning in whatever this energy is, So you're going to know if this reading is for you because, as with all general messages, you have to take what resonates, throw out the rest, and don't try to make it fit. And you could be feeling this, or your partner could be feeling this, or the energy that you were connected with, but you have to understand here that you will know if this is your reading, if you're feeling right now in a space where you feel a lack in support, where you feel very deeply, deeply introspective, and you don't feel this new transformation happening within your relationship sector. Now, your future, we have the Sun reverse. So this is still very benefic even in the reverse, but this indicates that there's something in the way. Now, the Sun rules Leo. So typically what's in the way here is this holding on to the past, where let's say you have a revisiting with somebody and you guys have this conversation about what happened. This indicates either your ego or their ego being an issue here. It doesn't really matter. This is like an ego being an issue, holding tight to a way something was once upon a time, not wanting to release something from the past to allow the new in. Because the Sun is all about the new, and the Sun wants to bring this to you as soon as you let go of whatever it is that's in the way, because something's in the way. Now, it could be that the thing that's in the way is just this incredible pain that you're really working very actively on letting go of. And as soon as you let go of it, you're going to have the Sun upright. But either way, there's this block. But it's still here. The fact that it's on the table, you're going to be pushed to make this adjustment. And I have a feeling you're going to be making it in the Venus retrograde in Gemini. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So, this is a Leo and Virgo energy. Again, so whenever we have Leo energy reverse, this does indicate an issue with ego, right? There's ego here. And Virgo is an earth energy that's ruled by Mercury. So this can very easily be this lacking of communication where you don't feel mentally, emotionally, and physically supported. Okay? For many of you, it's just feeling like this positive energy isn't coming in. You're not getting what it is that you need. And it's a little bit of a frustrating energy because you want the passion, right? You want the communication, but it's just not showing up. It's just not showing up. Now, for some of you, it's not showing up with somebody new. For others of you, you may have your heart set on this, happening with a particular person, but the cards indicate that that's not going to be happening. And there's not going to be a new beginning, Pisces. Ace is brand new and Wands are well. Wands are motivation and moving forward. So let's look at the clarifying energies here. So we have the Devil energy reverse, much more positive in the reverse than in the upright, as this is all about things that have been in balance, right? Coming to light. Things that have been off, too much of anything, too much drinking, too much drugs, too much partying, some sort of, eating disorder, gambling issue, irresponsibility with money, anxiety issue, fear of abandonment, fear of commitment. This is very much like a runner and chaser energy, anything like that coming to light. You just want to think about imbalance, right? Because that's all the devil is where our imbalances lie, So that's, something that has definitely been at play here as far as what's getting in the way of this new beginning. And we have the Four of Cups energy, and this is whipping out that checklist card. I don't like when they do A, B, and C, and if they do C, D, and E, I could never be with them again. There's this restlessness. There could even be this boredom here. But this identification of things that you just didn't like about this person. But now you have to be careful with this energy because a lot of times with the Four of Cups energy, this is identifying flaws in a person as a way of protecting yourself, as a way of identifying flaws that they had so that you don't have to continue in the relationship or so that you don't have to continue in the way that it was. Now, you don't have to be the one doing this. They could be doing this to you, right? Remember, in the relationship reads, the energy is too enmeshed. So, but it is, I feel like somebody being a little nitpicky, you know what I mean? Because if you know, in a lot of tarot decks, the Four of Cups is a child, right? It's a child kind of looking like, I didn't get my way. And again, it's that I don't even want to say making excuses. It's looking for things that might be real, but holding them onto them maybe a little too tightly as an excuse to not progress forward in the relationship. And then we have the Five of Wands in reverse. So, this could be you very much saying, you know what, I'm having this battle of the wills here with this person, all right? Because of some sort of ego issue that they have. And you're just realizing that this is just way too much, or they could be feeling like this about you. Saturn again is about restriction, and in the reverse, this is even heavier restriction. And then we have Leo, and Leo in the reverse is egotism. All right, so it's a true battle of the wills. And it's the kind of battle of the wills where there's this lack of clarity, but you feeling like the issue that we're fighting with isn't even mine. It's not really even me. Kind of, but them feeling the same way, you know what I mean? So it ends up being that kind of cyclical kind of energy. But then we have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is nostalgia. It's one of the cards of reconnection. So Pisces, I feel like despite all of this, you still want to reconnect with this energy. At least somewhere deep down in your soul you do, even if you're trying to convince your mind with this Four of Cups, because the Four of Cups energy is very much that. Well, I'm not going back to that's the conversation you have with yourself. It's the conversation you have with your friends and family about the relationship. Oh, I'm never going back to no way. They did this, and this, and they did that. No, I'm never going. You know what I mean? And maybe they did. But despite all of that, you may be having a really hard time extricating them from your soul. Do you know what I mean? Like, you still have this desire, because the Six of Cups it's this nostalgia, a missing that once upon a time, and how you guys connected at that point. Now, for many of you, this could also mean somebody coming in from your past, somebody that you met once upon a time. This could even be somebody from your deeper past, from your childhood. For some of you, this can even be you just really wanting to visit, like, your roots, getting back to your roots, you know, just thinking back to how things were once upon a time, in an earlier time. So, but I do want to say, Pisces, just generally speaking, I'm going to pull some oracles, but this spread does indicate that somebody in the past, okay, was not everything that they said they were. They did, let's just say they didn't walk their talk, but you fell for them anyway. And it does not look like there's going to be a new cycle continuing with them, which, quite frankly, that looks like a pretty big gift. But let's see what the oracles say. Let's see what the oracles say. Forgiveness. Be aware of what you're projecting. See, this is a Four of Cups energy. Be aware of what you're projecting, for the qualities you admire in one another are the qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. If you could do anything, what would it be? The answer dwells in your heart, not in your mind, right? So it's like trying to really tap into your feelings rather than those narratives that you tell yourself. The heart is the gateway to the soul. Forgiveness. Stop focusing your energy on past events, for life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. Yeah, all right. Okay, let's see. We have the Phoenix, very nice. Keys on a ring, new options, decision, unconventional, string along, one night stand. We have love call. Someone expresses love, a message of love, thinking of you and letting you know. And then we have the Phoenix, new phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, changed mind. So, see, this is very interesting to me, because I feel like somebody's going to be reaching out to you, but it's not. It's going to be that Magician and that Knight of Cups reverse energy again. That could be you, Pisces. You could be that energy, you know, where you said one thing, but you acted different, or you felt one way and you acted another, you know. And you know, listen, I'm not judging. I'm just saying that this is what the cards are saying. But then we have new phase, rekindling, renew, transformation, growth, changed mind, though. Changed mind under forgiveness. You know, now I have to just pull some cards. Hold on. These I don't read in reverse. Faith, Taurus energy. Faith. Taurus energy. You know, how you're thinking about this relationship is a new way of you thinking of it. Pisces. Somebody has had an epiphany. Then we have the Strength card, okay? That's the doing it scared card. Doing it scared. Knowing that there are no guarantees here, right? Knowing. This is like the, what's that guy? What's that crazy guy's name? Tiger King. It's like the Tiger King energy. Look at her. She's like with all these lion and tiger, all these cats, right? She knows they could kill her in a second, but she's there anyway, doing it scared. It's a Leo energy, still having fire in your belly for something. Still having that fire in your belly. But your belief system, I mean, really tapping into this belief system that you have regarding relationship. Page of Cups, wanting a new cycle. Really wanting to offer a new cycle. Queen of Swords, nothing but the truth. Truth, nothing but the truth. Knight of Coins, mental, emotional, physical connection. The Star, healing. This is Aquarius energy, doing something different. This is intuition plus emotions, and doing something different in a way to lead to healing. To lead to healing. Yeah. So I don't know, Pisces, where I'm getting, I have to give you the totality of what I'm getting. I'm getting that in the past, the energy that I indicated, that could have been you, it could have been them. Whatever it was, I feel like that was a past energy. You being in a space right now, though, going back to the previous spread, you being in a space of not feeling very connected, feeling very supported. That could be because of the quarantine. That could be because, maybe you ended that relationship. There was not a new cycle with that, whatever it is. But then we had that Six of Cups energy. So I am feeling that maybe okay, wait a minute. So an energy that you've been with in the very recent, you may not be getting back with them, but with that Six of Cups energy, you may be reaching out to somebody who you were with maybe a little bit ago, depending on what that means to you. And I feel like it's going to be approached in a very different way. Like at first it might be this casual kind of thing, you not being too serious about it. Right? The call coming in, or you calling them, now kind of just, dare I say, maybe because you just feel like a little lonely, right? But you having this change of mind and change of heart regarding this person. Yeah, I feel like that, because when we have the Phoenix, we have faith and we have strength. It's doing it anyway, and then having this Page of Cups, which is a new cycle. The truth is going to be coming out about something, whether you like it or not. You might not like everything you hear. That's okay. Then we have the Knight of Coins. This is a really beautiful energy. This is Leo and Virgo, right? Lots of passion here. Lots of passion, lots of desire, lots of communication, right? Because Virgo's ruled by Mercury, and it's going to end up leading to healing. But it's going to be very specifically where things are going to be handled differently this time. So I feel like one energy is leaving and another energy is coming in, but that energy that's coming in is not brand new. It's from the past. That is what I have for you. You're going to know if that resonates with you. That's what I have for you, Pisces. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.